Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have a full day wear test and review of the new Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Foundation Stick. So I am so excited for this one. This is available now on her website and I am seeing it on Sephora. I don't know if it's fully available on Sephora yet, but it is on the website. So just keep an eye on that if you'd rather shop through the Sephora website. This is made in Italy and has a 12-month shelf life. You also get 0.31 ounces of product. This retails for $46 US or 58 Canadian. So it is not cheap. Nothing from Charlotte Tilbury ever is, but this is an ultimate no foundation foundation, blurring, smoothing, sheer to light, buildable coverage with a sculpting effect. It's formulated to melt seamlessly into your skin in 15 seconds and is infused with plant-powered collagenure to keep your skin feeling firm, plump, and hydrated. So it sounds wonderful. So if you are new to my channel, I have a dry skin type and I am constantly looking for a stick foundation that is going to work on my dry skin. I have a couple and I will compare those for you at the very end of the video. So this is the beautiful packaging. Very, very beautiful. When I first saw it in photos, I didn't think it looked very expensive, but seeing it in person, it's definitely very, very beautiful. So it does have like the same type of texture to the lid that her lipsticks do. And then on the back, you just get the name and product details. And on her website, she does also have a duo with the foundation stick and her complexion brush, and I did choose to get that because I've been wanting this brush for a while, so I thought now's the perfect time to pick it up. But let me zoom you in and we'll get to applying this to the face and get our wear test started. So the hair is pinned back. As you can see, my skin is not showing very good behavior at the moment, but I guess that just adds to the wear test. So I do just have some concealer on my eyes, and my eyes and brows are done, but otherwise I've kept it very, very simple today, given that this is supposed to be a no foundation foundation. And with all of my foundation wear tests, I have primed this side of my face and not this side because I do want to see if the primed side behaves differently, if it holds on better, or did they both act the same? I'd just like to know. So that is what we're working with. This side has been primed with the Cali Ray So Blown Primer. This side has nothing. When I'm done, I'll powder this side and not this side as well. So one side has helping products, the other doesn't. So let's get into this. I did pick up the shade One Fair. I think there is about 20 or 25 shades. This is supposed to be a very flexible shade range. So you just twist it up. And she does say to apply it directly to the face and then blend out. And again, it's supposed to blend out in 15 seconds. So I guess we're gonna see about that. So I'm just going to do my initial. Okay. Feels pretty emollient when you blend it out. I just want to add a little bit more in the center. All right. It is supposed to be a little bit glowy as well, which my dry skin is going to like. So I'm interested to see how this wears. I don't tend to get along with Charlotte Tilbury foundation, so I'm very curious as to how this one is going to work out for me. Okay, so it really is very, very sheer. It's definitely giving a glow, which is interesting. Let's see if we can build it. It does say it's supposed to be very buildable, so let's see. She did also release some new shades of her Pillow Talk Lip and Cheek Glow, her cream blushes, but she's changed the name of them, so I'm kind of wondering if they're a different formula altogether. I did order 2 shades of that as well, so I will be comparing those to the original formula very soon. And I forgot to mention it is currently noon, so it's a little bit later than I like to start these wear tests, but I will probably be wearing this until 9 o'clock tonight, so hopefully we can get a pretty good wear test in from that. Okay, so that is actually with 2 layers on my skin. I will say it does blend out very, very quickly, and it definitely does give a glow. I feel like it may have evened my skin out a tiny bit, but it really didn't give much in the way of coverage at all. It is quite glowy as well. It's almost like the stick version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I mean, that could be the purpose of the product, but okay, let's get into the other side. I mean, so far, I'm getting along with it better than I've gotten along with her other foundations. The Beautiful Skin foundation I just find is way too heavy for me. It feels too heavy on the skin. I like the coverage, but again, it's too heavy on my skin. The matte foundation she has, I definitely don't like. That is not meant for me. This is definitely a no makeup type product for sure. So if you're not into that, right away, this is not something you're going to love. I did just notice when I took it directly off the stick and patted it into my skin, I'm definitely getting a little bit more coverage. So that could be something important to note as well if you're looking for just a little bit more. It's definitely very glowy though. So if you don't want to glow, I don't know how this is going to work out for oilier skin types. It definitely does blend in super easily, and I would definitely say I got a good shade match for myself. But these shades are striking me as being quite flexible as well. Okay, so there we have it. This is the prime side, this is the not prime side. I'm not really noticing a difference. There's really not a lot of coverage here, like I said. I am going to add some concealer under my eyes. I'm just using my Natasha Denona. And I think if I wasn't doing a wear test, I would be putting this in a lot of other places on my face rather than just my under eyes. And I'm just going to use the other side of that brush. Oh, that is really nice for concealer. I do feel like it's a little small on the foundation end, and I feel like that is more a size that I would use for cream blush. Could you imagine this for cream blush? That'd be so pretty. I really want to powder more than just the one side of my face. Okay, I'm just grabbing my Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder, and I am just setting my under eyes. Like I said, I just have concealer and powder on my eyelids today. I am setting both under eyes. There's no way I can get away with not doing that part. Okay, that actually looks really pretty when it's powdered down. I think I have to add some powder to just my T-zone over here. I'm sorry, but I have to. It's just way too much. I will add a little bit more powder on this side. Okay, so let me finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will come back and share my initial thoughts, and then we will get the wear test started. Okay, so here is the final look. Like I said, we're just going very light today. I just had the skin tint, the Natasha Denona concealer. I did the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Serum, and then I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip and Cheek Glow in Color of Dreams, given that I have 2 new shades coming and I want to try them out. This is one of my favorite cream blushes, so I am loving having it on today. My initial thoughts are that this is definitely a very interesting product. I think the perfect description is definitely that it is like the stick version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter. That is the perfect description in my opinion. Okay, so I did want to compare this to the 3 other foundation sticks in my collection. And I do want to show you the shades as well. But first I have the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Stick. I have the Fenty Beauty Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. And then I also have the Merit Minimalist. So I'll show you the shades. So the first shade I have is the new Charlotte Tilbury. Then I have the Huda Beauty in the shade Vanilla. Then we have the Fenty foundation stick in the shade 1. And I also have the Merit Minimalist in Silk right here. In comparison, the Huda Beauty, this is actually one I don't like very much because while it is full coverage, which I love, it does not get along with my very dry skin. It does cling to dry patches and things like that. So you can actually see with mine, I have a dent right out of the center because I use it to carve out my brows because it's perfect for that. The Fenty foundation stick. So this is supposed to be a sheer tint, but this one actually gives some pretty good coverage. I would definitely say a good solid light to medium coverage. And I do love this one. It definitely gives a lot more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury, and it gets along very well with my dry skin, and it wears all day. And the Merit Minimalist is also pretty sheer, but again, quite a bit more coverage than the new Charlotte Tilbury. None of these are nearly as glowy as the Charlotte Tilbury. I would say the Huda Beauty is definitely very matte, and the Merit and the Fenty are both very skin-like. Whereas the Charlotte Tilbury is also very skin-like, but like I said, very glowy. My skin does look just like skin. It doesn't look like I have a ton of product on here. It doesn't feel like I have a lot of product. It definitely does feel very lightweight. And I think if you have oily skin, you're really not going to love this. I think if you have dry skin, you might like this quite a bit more. And I think that if you have nearly perfect skin, you'll also really like this. But I do think that if you have a lot of areas that you like to conceal a little bit more, you may not be crazy about this one. I do wish I had a little bit more coverage from this. But let's get into the wear test. Like I said, it's about noon now, so I'm going to be wearing this until 8 or 9 tonight. And then I will check in and give you my overall final thoughts, show you how the makeup is looking, which side performed better, and then hopefully I will have this edited and uploaded in the morning. But let's get into the wear test. Okay, I just stepped outside to see what this looks like in natural lighting. It is so hot today. I don't know why I'm still wearing a sweater, but this is what it looks like in natural light. It actually does look quite nice. In the sun, it's definitely very glowy. I will say it is a little bit sticky, so my hair is constantly sticking to the foundation, so definitely one that you're gonna wanna powder, but this is what it looks like in natural light. It's actually quite nice. All right, so we have officially made it to the 8-hour mark, and I definitely have a lot of thoughts concerning this new Charlotte Tilbury foundation stick. So I did actually go outside and check in shortly after I put the makeup on, and it was just so incredibly glowy, definitely giving me glass skin, but just way too much so for my own preferences. So I did end up powdering my face, and I just used the Hourglass pressed powder in translucent, and I just kind of did that down my T-zone and then up the sides a little bit. You can see that I still have quite a bit of glow showing through, which I'm not mad about, but once I put powder over top, I felt so much better and I liked the product so much better. So initially when I put it on, I wanted to proceed like I would with any other foundation review and wear test. I put it on, I powdered the necessary spots on one side of my face and I left the other, and I was so incredibly shiny. Even my husband commented. I stepped outside and it nearly melted off my face because it is so hot today. But again, I was just so incredibly glowy. My hair was sticking to my face. It was just a whole situation. It was transferring everywhere. So I did powder and I instantly liked the effect so much better. I still have that sort of no makeup situation going on, but at least it's set down. My hair isn't sticking and it's glowing in the areas where I want it to glow. I don't mind when my cheeks are glowy, but I don't necessarily want the center of my face to be glowy. I don't want my chin to be glowy. So I did conclude that this is one of those that absolutely needs to be used with a powder. I think that if you are somebody with oily skin, you're not going to like this at all. I think if you have dry skin and you like to glow, then you might really like this. If you really like that no makeup type look where you just put this on, do a little bit of spot concealing, throw on some powder, you might really like this, because this does, even at the skin tone a little bit, it definitely sinks into the skin so fast. The blendability was 100% there. It's just that you really don't get much coverage and it is incredibly glowy. So you want to use it with concealer and powder, and you can get a really pretty effect from that. So I think that this is going to be great for somebody who is dry and likes a glowy finish and just wants a few quick products to get out the door. So I loved that this is super lightweight. It has a very skin-like finish. It blended in so incredibly beautifully, and I think it looks really pretty on the skin. Again, this is going to be great for somebody with dry skin who likes a glowy finish, who loves that no makeup look. I think if you're a big fan of the Hollywood Flawless filter, this is essentially the same thing in stick form. So you might really like this. I do want to try this with some other products. I kind of want to try mixing it with the Fenty stick foundation that I love so much. I would also love to try it under a powder foundation. I'm kind of curious to try this and then put the Natasha Denona powder foundation on top. I'm kind of curious to see how that would work, just out of curiosity, because this looked absolutely stunning once I added powder to my face today. But adding a more powder foundation to get a little bit more coverage while still maintaining a bit of that glow, I think would be really nice. I do also think this would be great for just spot highlighting the face like you can do with the original Flawless filter. Just taking a little bit on a finger and dabbing it on the cheek, I think that would be very pretty. So I did see some questions, people wondering if this is shimmery. I don't notice a shimmer in it, but as we saw, it is intensely, intensely glowy. I will continue to use this. I will continue to test it out and try it in all the other ways that I suggested, so I can sort of give you my thoughts at the end of the month. So this isn't going to be my most used foundation, but I can see myself using it a lot throughout the summer months for that no makeup, using this, a little bit of spot concealer, and some powder, and I think I might use it a lot in that way. However, I don't think it's going to be my most reach for foundation. It's definitely not my favorite stick foundation. That definitely still goes to the Fenty for the coverage and that it doesn't make me look like a Tin Man if I don't powder, you know? So again, just something to keep in mind. If you absolutely love the Flawless Filter, you might like this quite a bit. Oilier skin types, more textured skin, or if you don't love super glowy skin, I would definitely pass on this, save your money, but I like it. It took me a learning curve to figure it out, and once I figured out the trick to it, I like it. It's not going to be a favorite just because I just have other things I do like quite a bit more, but it's not a bad product. You just have to know what to expect going into it, if that makes sense. So that is it for me today. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Are you picking this one up? Did you already? What are your thoughts on this roller coaster of a wear test? Just let me know all of your thoughts down below. I love hearing from you guys so much. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!